Welcome to Pointy End. I'm Keith Sutherland. Today my guest is Jack Lyons, who's the chairman of Kangaroo Flat Community Enterprise. Welcome, Jack.
Thanks very much, Keith, for having me on board.
Now, some terrific news. You've got the start of your Kangaroo Flat Aquatic Centre campaign, and you've had a fantastic start with a very generous donation from Dick and Mavis Hazeldene and the Hazeldene family of $300,000. Yep. Your organisation's trying to raise $1 million. What a great start you had.
Well, it's a good start, but we're probably midway because we actually started back in 2009. That's where the first idea or concept plan for the Aquatic Centre came from our community enterprise group. And then 2011 we went out to the public and we had nearly 3,000 people signed a petition for a 50-metre pool. And then the last couple of years we've actually gone to council. They made it the #1 priority for 3 years running. And it finally came to fruition a month ago when we launched our fundraising drive, and Dick and Mavis Hazeldene come along and then pledged $300,000 towards it. So following from that, we're going to name the hydrotherapy pool the Hazeldene's Hydrotherapy Pool in their honour.
And why not? Because they're a terrific family. Dick and Mavis lived in Kangaroo Flat all their life, and as we all know, the Hazeldene family do so much around town.
Well, they're the biggest private employer in Bendigo with well over 700 staff just in the factory out in Lockwood. That's without all the other businesses behind them. So yeah, no, they're a great contributor to the Bendigo economy.
Yep, certainly are. Now, just talking about the complex itself, it's costing $31 million. It'll be the state of the art, as we know, with a 50-metre pool you mentioned, a splash play area, the hydrotherapy pool, which is going to be the Hazeldene, wellness centre, gym and cafe. So it's going to be the Rolls Royce. We're having the very best of everything.
Yep.
And now everybody else around Bendigo will want the same thing, but of course you can only ever have one of these sort of pools.
Well, there can only be one.
Yep.
And it's going to be built on the corridor, the main corridor coming into Bendigo, on the Melbourne side of Bendigo. So, you know, for future generations, this will be a fantastic venue to visit. And you know yourself as a swimmer, you want to go out there yourself. So, yeah, no, we're really looking forward to it. They're talking about probably a mid-June start. So they haven't named the contractor yet, but council tells me that at the mid-June meeting that they'll nominate who the contractor is, and then they'll get a letter the next day saying away you go. So
it's a great concept because as a Kangaroo Flat boy, went to Kangaroo Flat Tech, we really had that tiny little pool at Kangaroo Flat. There was nothing else, and it's a growth area, growth corridor, as we know. And as you said, there can only be one of these sort of pools, and you can't sort of replicate it around. And maybe the splash parks are the go these days because people are enjoying it, one at Long Gully, etc. But now the funding of it, now this was a state government promise some years ago, and I heard you say that Damien Drum was really responsible from behind the scenes stuff to get that $15 million from the state government. We've got nearly $5 million from the federal government, $9.5 from the state local council, I should say, and then whoever takes over the contract of the pool will be contributing. So, and then there's $1 million from your organisation. So it's a lot of funding. 31 million, you're going to have to be spot on because, as we know with contracts, starts out at that, doesn't end up at that. So you believe everything's in line, and of course you're waiting for the contract to be let firstly.
Yeah, well, council always had a budget of 30 to 31 million. They were waiting on other contractors to come in with pricing on different ways of heating the pool, whether it's an underground heating or it's solar heating or things like that. So the budget went from 30 to 31, which was inside of what they'd allowed. And they were originally going to build a 25-metre pool, and we found out the difference between a 25 and a 50-metre pool in operating costs is only $90,000. We said, hang on, you can't build a 25-metre pool. We already have a 33-metre pool. Why would you do that? So we came to council and said, and we had to lobby all the councillors last year, lobbied the state government and the federal government to build a 50-metre pool. We said we're already pledging $100,000 towards it, but hang on, let's raise $1 million. That gives you your first 10 years operating costs difference between the 25 and the 50-metre pool. So that's what we've pledged. We're nearly halfway there now. We've got a bit over 400,000. We have our first initial 100,000 from the Kangaroo Flat Community Enterprise. Then we have the 300,000 from the Hazeldene family, and we've got a couple of thousand from the Kangaroo Flat Swimming Club, and then we've also got other monies coming from the schools as well. They're fundraising as well.
You mentioned the fundraising campaign, so realistically what you're looking for is major contributions. It'd be great to get small ones, but it's the major ones that make all the difference. So you're appealing to businesses around Bendigo, you're appealing to organisations, as you said, and schools, because there's going to be a lot of schools that utilise this facility once it's completed.
Well, there's a bit of a magnet to it now. When we started the talking about going to a 50-metre pool, the Bendigo Community Health Group got on board. Kim Sykes come out and seen us one day and said, wow, this is fantastic, we'd like to help out. So they're actually partnering us in our fundraising, and they're allowing us to use their tax deductible scheme. So now we have a partnership with those. So anyone that wants to donate anywhere from $2 to tens of thousands of dollars, it's completely tax deductible. So there's a bit of a magnet there if people want to donate large sums. And there's also naming rights to different areas in the pool, and they last for up to 5 years, depending on how much money is donated at the time.
Okay. I noticed you mentioned Kim Sykes, and it was really good because she came out very strongly in favour of it because it was for health, preventative health, and that's probably more important that as we get older, like myself, we're aging, that's why I go to the pool, and I go summer and winter. So in the winter I have to go outside, so this will be a great facility. But one thing I can't quite understand, it's a 51.5 metre pool, you put some chocks in the middle. How does that work? So if there's going to be competition swimming, down one end, that 1.5 metres taken up by, they put something in the water. How does it work? I was never quite sure.
We'll call it a 50-metre pool, but it's actually it's another metre and a half longer because there is a moving rail. It's a metre and a half wide. It's a rail that you can actually walk across the top of the pool and then back down the other side. So it's like a divider. They actually push that across. It's on rails. They push that across to the very centre of the pool.
So
and
you've
then
got
you have two 25-metre
okay.
pools, yeah. But then if you want to have 50-metre competition, you push it all the way to one end and you're back to a 50-metre pool.
Okay, and I've been noticing on social media, and you're a big social media person, that the Ballarat have been putting up there all the time about their 17-metre pool. Now, the extras, I take it, are the hydrotherapy, the gym, the cafe, and all these other things. I assume that's where the extra money comes in, because it's probably maybe comparable cost to build just a 50-metre pool, I dare say.
Well, they're talking 420,000 people users each year, and that's without drawing from the other venues. The Kangaroo Flat pool is hardly used at the moment. It hasn't been heated for quite a number of years. Golden Square is very similar, so those numbers will automatically move across to the new pool, but they're talking a lot of new people coming in from the southern area as well. They're saying the budget says that the council won't actually make any money from the pool. It won't break even until about the 4th or 5th year, and then it'll only break even. So having the hydrotherapy also helps with a lot of people coming and using the pool, the 50-metre pool with all the schools, and then you've got all the health benefits from the allied health rooms that we'll have there as well. So some of the businesses in the area, chiropractors and physio sports people, they can actually rent rooms in there, and the money goes back towards the local government and the pool, which brings it back to a break-even case.
If there is a shortfall, is it the operators of the pool, or is it council that pick up the shortfall? Because as you said, year 4 maybe you start to break even with all these, and you'd understand that, of course, with a large investment like it is. But is the council that pick up the shortfall or loss, because you're expecting the operator to put in some money first up, then the operator's got to make a profit out of it, maintain it, have the lifeguards, etc. But there'll be the running costs, which will be fairly enormous because it's a big complex, and to heat won't be as dear as trying to heat the Aquatic Centre in the winter because that's outdoor. But who does pick up that shortfall? Well,
in the short term, they've actually balanced the books, so the council will pick up the shortfall. That's part of the budget. After the 4th or 5th year, it should even back out to zero. But if it does fall short and the numbers are down a little bit, local government will pick that up, local council, City of Greater Bendigo. But you've got to keep in mind too, the city's Aquatic Centre up in Barnard Street actually costs $480,000 a year to run. That's a net loss.
Yeah, I think in total all the pools cost was somewhere between $2 and $3 million loss.
Yes.
Because some of the outlying ones, which I understand, that cost about $50 per person to utilise those pools. But it's a facility, and once the pool's gone, those communities have sort of got not much left for them, I suppose.
Well, that's right. Plus, we're building a $31 million complex, and the City of Greater Bendigo are only actually paying $9 million of that, so we're getting 2/3 of it for free.
Yeah. Finally, Jack, how do people donate? Do they go online? How do they do it? and you're looking obviously for businesses and everybody else, as I mentioned before, to donate some funds. But how do the general public get involved? Because there will be a lot of Kangaroo Flat people, a lot of Golden Square, and it doesn't have to be them, it can be any of us from the town that want to go out there and swim.
Community.
That's
yes.
Right. So how do they donate to your complex?
Well, the Bendigo Bank are partnerships with our enterprise group, so you can go into any Bendigo bank in the region and they'll automatically have the details there for you to fill out and deposit money. We have a Facebook page called Build Our Pool, and it has the details on it as well. And there's also brochures in the banks that have our details on the back with Bendigo Community Health and their bank account to deposit any donation that you'd like.
Well, Jack, congratulations. I know it's been on the drawing board, as you say, for quite a few years now. It's come to fruition almost, but you're at the exciting stage where to raise that extra $500,000, and as you said, you're almost halfway there now. And once people see the thing come out of the ground, how fantastic it's going to be, I dare say the money will come in at the tail end. But well done to you, your committee and everybody else, and getting that pool up and running. And thank you for appearing on the Pointy End today.
That's right, Keith. We can't wait, and thanks very much for having me.
Thank you.